God, I hate this song. The melody is just so cheesy, and the lyrics are banal as fuck. I mean, how many times can you say you love someone while also apologizing for cheating on them? Apparently about 16 times, not including the chorus. I reach my destination and stop. Ah, the fire axe. Quite possibly one of the greatest inventions ever. Sure, it's an axe, and axes have been around for a long, long while. I think they found some in the caves with the Neanderthals. Those big browned mofos could probably swing the shit out of an axe. So can I. I stare at the case embedded in the wall and decide if I want to open the case using the provided handle, or do I want to get wild and wacky and break glass in case of emergency like it's stenciled on the wall above the case. Just open it or break the glass? It's a hard decision. Then a break comes between songs. I snap out of my dilemma as my own personal song reaches my ears, my heart, my soul. I punch the glass as hard as I can, and I think I feel a bone or two break in my hand just as the next song starts. What song is this? I know it. Blood drips from my slashed and broken right hand as I reach inside the case and grab the fire axe's handle. I know this damn song. It's a woman's name or something. Glass falls to the deck and the tinkling sound it would have made is lost to the blaring music that's blasting over the base's PA system. Mandy, that's the name of the damn song. This song I like, although not at the moment. At the moment, I'm a little irritated that it's covering over my song. It hasn't completely blocked it because I can still feel the notes in my bones as they seep into my marrow and spread through me like a frigid warmth. A cold hot, as my grandmother would say. I grip the fire axe and ignore my pain. I ignore the blood that has started to really pour from the gashes on my hand. I mean, it's like a waterfall of red. I'll need to take care of that. Oh, what a fine girl that Mandy is. I'm really sorry the sailor doesn't want to marry her, but I guess his life and love are the sea. Now, which direction? Music needs to stop, so I should head to the comms room. But then I did see some of the crew flee toward the mess. A lot of weapons in the mess and galley. Plenty of blades and things that go stabby-stabby. The song ends, and I'm sad as always. Mandy deserves that man she loves. That necklace just isn't enough, in my opinion. But really, fuck Mandy. I can hear my song again. I hear it so clearly and it calls to me, informs me, fills me with the lovely and enduring rage I need in order to get the job done. Hold on, what the fuck is this next song? Baby Come Back? Jesus H. Christ on a pogo stick made of snakes. Another fucking song about someone who made a shitty relationship decision, regrets it, and now wants his woman to come back to him. Heard it 1,000,000 times. Like 1,000,000 times just today. Whatever playlist this is has now started to repeat. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like yacht rock, but 16 straight hours is more than any human can take, right? Right? Right. With this shit repeating for like the 12th time, my goal becomes clear. The comms room it is. Blood splatters on the steel deck of the salvage base, turning the metal into a monochrome Jackson Pollock painting. I wonder if Jackson Pollock ever did bleed on his paintings. Maybe some of that red is actually his lifeblood, instead of just paint interpreting his lifeblood. That'd be cool. This place, this base, was my living hell. Stuck thousands of feet below the ocean's surface, all in the hopes of salvaging some lost nuclear sub the Russians deny ever losing. The payout could have been billions. It all depended on what the guy in charge could make happen. The problem is, I strangled the shit out of that pompous asshole during the 5th rotation of this infernal playlist. Just walked up to him and wrapped my hands around his scrawny neck and squeezed. Then he was gone. Not in charge no more. Now, before any conclusions are jumped to, I had my reasons. After all, the guy said that his song was the only song we needed to pay attention to. A song only he could hear. A song that was obviously a lie, since I had my own song, and that song told me from the very beginning that I am the one who matters. I am the one who will prevail. I guess, in a way, my song ended up strangling his song. I won. But it's not just him. There are others. All the men on this base, they believe in their songs. More fucking lies. I plan on showing them the truth. I round the corner, my fire axe in hand, a blood trail behind me, and stop. "Daryl," I say as I stare daggers at the ensign standing at the opposite end of the corridor. "Lucas," Daryl says to me. "Where you headed?" I ask as I look him up and down. Daryl is a younger guy, easily 10 or 15 years younger than me. Maybe in his late 20s or early 30s. Hard to tell with kids these days. You used to be able to look a man in the eye and know his age, because that look told you his story. It conveyed pain and hope and loss, and everything a person holds in them. Today, nothing but red-rimmed, glazed eyes exhausted from scrolling. "To the mess," Daryl says, answering the question which I had already forgotten I'd asked. "You?" "Comms room," I say and take a step toward him. He matches me. "I thought about doing that," Daryl says, and glances up at the top of the corridor's wall and the PA speaker bolted there. The song has changed once more. Daryl growls and frowns. "I fucking hate this song." "This one?" I ask and cock my head. "I like this one. Same guy who did the theme song to Top Gun." "Top what?" Daryl asks. "Doesn't matter," I say and shake my head. "What matters is you get out of my way. I need to shut this shit off." "Is it covering up your song?" he asks, then laughs. "Sucks to have an old man's ears. I can hear my song just fine." "That's so," I ask and take another step. He matches me again. "Yeah, that's so," Daryl says, then reaches behind him and slowly withdraws 2 diving knives, one for each hand. "What you planning to do with those?" I ask, and take another step and another. So does Daryl. "Oh, you know," he says with a shrug, and flips the knives around so he has them handle first with the blades sticking out behind his grip. If he raised his hands, he'd look like he was going to do a double stab. A Norman Bates twice over, if you will. "No, I don't know," I say. "Why don't you tell me? Speak plain, son. We're just a couple of sailors stuck down at the bottom of the ocean listening to yacht rock ruin my song. I'd hate for a misunderstanding to make things worse." I take 3 steps. He takes 3 steps. "Gonna do what I have to do is all," Daryl says, and he takes 3 more steps, meaning I have to match those 3 steps. I am not a fan of people trying to get the upper hand on me. "And what I have to do is a little hacking," Daryl says, and brings up a knife to about shoulder level. "Maybe some slashing too." "Gonna be hard to do all that hacking and slashing while I'm chopping and chopping," I say, and give my fire axe a shake. I take 4 steps, he takes 5. "I'll manage," Daryl says. I take 6 and he takes 7. Then we're running at each other. The song switches to that one about Sarah and her smile. Is this song actually yacht rock? Or is it just easy listening? Is that even a genre anymore? Musical genres have all become gray areas if you ask me. Daryl's murderous shout overpowers the music, and I have to give him credit for having a set of lungs on him. Damn. The kid also has everything that comes with youth. He has speed, agility, fearlessness, and a stupidity that only the young can see as an asset. I let his speed build and build while I keep my run at a very steady pace. He's really pumping those legs. "Die, old man!" he shouts. Jesus Christ, does he really want those to be his last words? I drop to my knees and slide the last few feet, then dodge to the side while bringing the fire axe around in a sideways arc just high enough to tag him in the belly button. Our dueling momentums mean instead of him stopping in his tracks as the fire axe embeds itself in his soft, young belly, the force of his running and power of my slide keep that fire axe blade going through his guts, around the side of his torso, and out his back. Thank God I didn't hit his spine. I do not have time to try to pry my fire axe out of some dipshit kid's backbone. Daryl screams and collapses as he stumbles and falls past me. I keep sliding for another 3 or 4 feet, then come to a sudden stop as I press the toes of my boots down to slow myself. Then I stand and turn. "Good job, Axe," I say to my fire axe. New song, Doobie Brothers. I can dig it. "Fuck, man," Daryl gasps, his knives forgotten and discarded to the side as he lays on the deck and clutches his abdomen inside. The kid is actually trying to pull all his viscera back in place. I don't blame him. I'd probably do the same thing. My song will win, I say, and bring the fire axe up over my head. Fuck you, he grunts as I let the axe fall. The red and gray steel blade splits the boy's head in two like a perfectly ripe melon. It even makes that crisp, cracking sound a solid watermelon rind makes when you snap it in half. And, of course, my fire axe gets stuck in his skull. Damn it, fire axe! Do better! Be better! I manage to wriggle the blade free and wipe Daryl's brains from the blade on his coveralls. Which gets me to wondering why a supervising mechanic had 2 diving knives instead of like 2 huge wrenches. Not that it matters in the end, but I would have gone for the wrenches over the knives. Or fuck the wrenches. Daryl should have used one of those sledges they have in the engine room. One of the big 3-footers with the 20-pound heads. The ones they use to crack a stuck valve and shit. That's what he really should have done. I stare down at the kid and shake my head. Woulda, coulda, shoulda for this guy, am I right? The song ends, and my song drifts back into my ears. A panacea for polyester pants and captain's hats. A cure for the stupid lying dead at my feet. Then some song about magnets and steel explodes from the PA. I wince and push a shoulder up to one of my ears in hopes of blocking out the musical abomination. Without even thinking, I turn and swing up at the PA speaker with all my strength. I hit it, but my fire axe gets stuck in the speaker's metal mesh cover. I yank and yank, but the damn axe is stuck hard. Worse than a backbone, that's for sure. Damn it, I mutter, as I let go of the axe's handle and let it dangle there at the top of the wall. The music still blares from the multitude of speakers set all around the base, but at least it's not pounding down at me like an unrelenting surf. With a glance at Daryl, I consider picking up his knives, but are they really worth the effort? I'm not much of a knife fighter, and I'll just probably end up cutting myself. Not that I haven't done some personal damage. Maybe I can use one of the knives for something else. I grab up a blade and then kneel by Daryl and slice off a non-bloody hunk of his coveralls. Then I drop the blade and tie the strip of cloth around my cut hand, tying it off over the back of my hand using my teeth to get it real tight. Better, I say, and then think of my next course. What was I doing? Where was I going? Oh right, gotta go to comms, kill this fucking music, and anyone else who I happen across. 3 corridors later, and lo and behold, another fire axe presents itself. They are ubiquitous on the walls of deep-sea bases like this. You never know when you need to chop your way through a bulkhead or maybe even bust out a porthole. And split some skulls too. But that isn't in the manual of operations for a place like this. That kind of thing you learn on the job. This time I decide to use the handle and open the case instead of breaking the glass. Silly love songs. That's what you decide to sing about post-Beatles, Sir McCartney? I really need to get to the comms room and stop this whole yacht rock playlist torture that is being forced upon me. Yes, Paul, people still like silly love songs. The whole music industry runs on those things. And songs about fucking, of course. Sometimes they're even the same song if done right. With a fresh axe in my hands, I stalk off down the corridor in the direction of the comms room. A tingling runs up my spine as I near the corner of the corridor. If I turn left, I head to the comms room. So it would make sense for me to look left. Except something tells me that I need to look right. And I need to do it now. I look and duck, just as the torque wrench swipes through the space where my head had just been. Fucking hell, Maggie! I shout, as I fall on my ass and scramble back to put a few feet between me and the woman coming at me with the torque wrench raised up over her head. That was a fast recovery from that swing at my noggin. Points to Maggie. You murderous piece of shit! Maggie screams and brings the torque wrench down. Maggie has a PhD, 3 kids in Syracuse, and an ex-husband who works in finance. She's all about the mom jeans and gingham decorations in her cabin. Who would have thought she'd have the balls to try to kill anyone? I lift the fire axe up and stop her blow from connecting with my face. My elbows almost buckle as the heavy metal of the wrench collides with the wooden handle of the fire axe. With a twist of my torso, I angle the handle so the torque wrench slides down and connects with the blade of the axe. In order to do that, I have to let go with one hand so the wrench doesn't mash my fingers. But that's okay. With the resistance suddenly gone, Maggie loses her balance and pitches over sideways. Her head and right shoulder smash into the wall, and she starts to slide down to the floor. Except she doesn't make it, as I continue the swing of my axe like a pendulum, letting it come back with double the force as before. The great thing about fire axes is they have pick heads. One side is a heavy-duty, wide blade that is sharp as fuck, and the other side is a heavy-duty pick that is sharp as fuck. It's the pick part that Maggie's right temple lands on. The weight of her body knocks the fire axe from my hands, but that's all right. Maggie isn't going to be coming for me with that torque wrench anytime soon. Then I hear the gasp and scramble to my feet. Sonia stands there at the corner of the corridor, no weapon, her eyes wide and terrified.
"You killed Maggie,"
she whispers. "Yup," I say, and study the woman for a minute. She's young, just like Daryl was. A grad student out of Cal or Stanford, or one of those elite shitholes that churn out pretension faster than a baby craps out mushed peas. I think she said she has a fiancé or something back home. The two were going to be married in the spring when she returns topside and collects her share of the salvage. I say were, because Sonia won't be seeing sunlight ever again. "Had to kill her," I say as I reach down and wiggle the fire axe free from Maggie's temple. It finally comes loose with a loud squelching sound. Sonia turns and bends over as she retches. Nothing comes out of her mouth except for noise and some spit. The poor dumb girl isn't even looking at me. Yeah, she's not gonna see that wedding day. Her head comes off with one clean chop. I have to give credit to the fact she was looking the other way and already bending over though. 2 women have attacked me. Well, one woman tried, and the other just stood there. That I find interesting. As far as I know, the songs are only for the men, and I'd go to my watery grave believing that. So what made them want to kill me? Or what made Maggie want to try to kill me while Sonia stood by and watched? The comms room. They wanted to stop me from getting to the comms room. That's it. The women put the playlist on. Those little bitches. Oh, now I need to get there more than ever. I take the turn I originally was aiming for and run down the corridor. My footfalls completely muted by the song playing now. More Doobie Brothers? No. It's Michael McDonald. I remember this song from that movie about the 40-year-old virgin. What was that called again? Doesn't matter. The comms room is 2 corridors away and 1 deck up. I book ass to the next corner, turn right, and then sprint toward the stairs. I take them 2 at a time and I'm on the same deck as the comms room. I'm also facing a makeshift barricade. Fine by me. It's another chance to prove why God made fire axes. I get to work and have the barricade hacked away in less than 2 minutes. Shit, I may have gotten it done in less than 1 minute, but I don't want to sound like a braggart. I'm not doing all of this for me. No. This is for her and her only. As I step over the detritus left from the stupid, useless barricade, I see the door to the comms room. Someone has bolted a latch to it and inserted a padlock through that latch. I chuckle and kiss the blade of my axe.
"Great minds, huh?"
A voice calls out from the other end of the corridor.
"Hey, Cliff."
I say and nod as the base's captain walks toward me with a harpoon gun casually aimed in my direction.
"I thought Hugo got you last night." "Hugo? That twerp?"
Cliff laughed. When I first met Clifford Wallace, I thought he was another pencil pusher the company had assigned to the base to watch the numbers and keep the crazies in line. But after I saw him nearly take the second engineer's head off over a bad beat at poker, I grew to respect the man. He's never let me down and I appreciate that. And he's never put the company before good common sense, which I appreciate even more.
"You know who Shel Silverstein is?"
Cliff asks.
"That's a weird question,"
I say and keep moving toward the comms room door.
"You mean the children's book writer guy? The one who did that poem about sidewalks?"
Cliff continues walking toward me at a casual pace, but the harpoon gun isn't aimed at me anymore. It's aimed up at the wall, and the speaker set into it.
"This song is called Sharing the Night Together by Dr. Hook,"
Cliff says.
"Dr. Hook? Like Peter Pan?"
I ask and frown.
"Shel Silverstein didn't write that, did he?"
Did he?
"No. But this band released several albums of music written by Shel Silverstein,"
Cliff says, still walking toward me. The harpoon gun is back on target, with my guts being the target in question.
"You learn all kinds of stuff on Spotify.
Cliff says. I hear the snap of the harpoon's release a split second before the projectile flies straight for my head. I guess a gut shot wasn't what Cliff was going for after all. One thing about being a sailor, whether you're up on a ship or down in the deep, deep dark like this base, you cultivate a sixth sense, so your body is always ready to respond to a snapped rope or falling mast or errant wave. But I'm in my 50s and not as spry as I used to be, so instead of completely dodging the harpoon, I only managed to keep from getting my skull pierced. Unfortunately, Cliff is a good 4 or 5 inches taller than me, so the angle of his shot means that when the harpoon misses my head, it still manages to shoot right into the meat of my left shoulder.
Motherfucker, Cliff!
I shout and almost drop my fire axe. Almost.
My song will win,
Cliff says.
Not yours, not Richard's, not Benny's, and sure as hell not Gino's. Fuck Gino,
I say and laugh as white-hot pain radiates from my shoulder all the way down my left arm, making the limb close to useless.
Right? Yeah, fuck Gino,
Cliff says, then grins wide.
Oh, wait, never mind. I put a harpoon through his right eye about 6 minutes ago. Well, just fuck Richards and Benny then,
I say.
I like Benny,
Cliff replies with a shrug. He nods at me.
Can you pull that out and toss it to me? The harpoon?
I ask and raise an eyebrow.
Really, Cliff? I already tagged you, Lucas, so don't be a bitch about it,
he says.
I don't even have a scratch on.
A roar of complete and total rage explodes from behind Cliff, and I don't even have time to blink before most of the captain's head is caved in. His body falls to the deck, and let me just say that if you haven't ever seen someone go 100% brutal psycho on a body, then you are missing out. Holy shit, it's quite a fucking sight. While a blood-soaked Gino gets all berserker on Cliff's corpse, I set my axe down and manage to shove the harpoon all the way through my shoulder. I reach back and yank it free, then toss it aside. Then I pick the axe back up and make a practical decision as I look from Gino to the comms room door. The man has obviously lost his mind, along with his eye, of course, so I think I have a brief moment to get some work done. One-handed, I lift the axe up over my shoulder and bring it down as hard as I can on the latch. Sparks fly as metal collides with metal, and a loud ringing echoes out over the music. Rosanna by Toto. Good song. I much prefer Africa, of course, but that goes without saying. Doesn't matter. Africa will come into the mix in about 38 minutes if memory serves. And it's time to stop that before it happens. I have to slam the axe's blade against the latch 5 more times before it finally breaks apart. And that's the thing most people don't think about when they try to lock a door. The lock is only as good as what it's locking. No point to lock it if you can just destroy the latch it's sticking through. The song switches to Ride Like the Wind by Christopher Cross, and I realize I can't hear the loud, wet, pulpy slap of Gino's weapon on Cliff's corpse anymore. What was he using anyway? Oh, it's a table leg. A bloody, splintered table leg. I can see it plainly in his hands as he runs for me. Dipshit. I shove the comms room door open and step inside, then swing my axe out into the corridor, catching Gino in the belly. He makes an oof sound, then doubles up over my fire axe. I yank and pull hard, ripping the axe from his belly, which brings a cascade of intestines with it. I have to say, that swing and then the subsequent yank and pull sure didn't do my wounded shoulder any favors, or my broken and still bleeding hand. I stumble back a few feet, and my ass collides with the comms instrument panel. The panel is really a throwback to the old days, and the whole system is run by the laptop sitting on top of it. But software crashes, so having manual dials and switches at the ready really isn't a bad idea. Except I have one of those switches poking me in the butt cheek now. Making sure Gino doesn't get up, I rest against the instrument panel for a couple of minutes as I watch his body. Nope, Gino isn't getting back up. Even if he was still alive, he'd probably slip and slide in his own intestines like a slapstick comedy. The real threat is about 2 feet from my left. The laptop. The damn thing running this never-ending yacht rock playlist. There isn't much room to maneuver in the comms room. It's the panel, 2 chairs, and a tight squeeze. Gonna be hard to get an angle with my fire axe, but I don't need one. There's no need to smash the damn laptop when I can simply reach over and unplug the auxiliary cord from the 3.5mm jack. A quick pull and Boz Skaggs' voice is cut off mid-lyric. Crap, what was the name of that song? It's going to bug me, I know it is. But the need to know the names of other songs is quickly forgotten as my song suddenly comes through loud and clear, no longer obscured by yacht rock. Oh, the beauty of the melody mixed with the lyrics just makes my heart soar. The song has an old sea shanty-esque quality to it that is mixed with an almost lilting, operatic style, which is why I love it so much.
Cleave the women and feed them to the sea.
The song calls out.
Kill the men and their song dies.
It continues.
You must be the last and find me, my love. Find me in the dark. Find me in the deep. Let me in.
It's not so much a rhyming song as it is a stream of consciousness kind of thing. Think Blow the Man Down meets La Boheme meets Pink Floyd. But whatever the mashup, I understand it all the way down in my soul. I've cleaved a few women, but haven't figured out how to feed them to the sea. Not that I'm worried. The solution will come to me at some point. As for killing the men, I think I only have Richards and Benny left. Time to head to the mess. Maybe I'll find Richards and Benny there. They might have already cleaved the rest of the women, making my job that much easier. Fingers crossed. First though, gonna do a little laptop stomping so no one can get that playlist up and running again. I sweep the computer onto the floor, then turn it into bits of plastic and metal with my boots. Stomp, stomp, stomp goes the laptop, never to yacht rock again. Now, with fire axe in my bad hand and blood dripping down my left arm, I step over Gino's body as I leave the comms room. I really have to hand it to Gino. He survived a harpoon through the eye and then managed to bludgeon Captain Cliff into a pulpy mess. Good on Gino. I reverse course and head back the way I came, which is the direction of the mess. Climbing down the stairs, I pay special attention to the gaps between the steps. Sure would be easy to hide under the stairs and slice some Achilles tendons with a knife. I'm almost disappointed when I reach the bottom of the stairs without incident. Richards and Benny really wasted an opportunity there. Hell, even one of the songless ladies could have used the tactic. Really disappointing. 4 corridors later and I'm at the hatch to the mess, and staring down at Richards and Benny's corpses. Looks like they impaled each other on pikes. The things are long metal poles with a spear and hook end. We use them to either push shit away or grab shit. Pikes are really handy up on a ship. Only sorta handy down in a submerged base. So I never really understood why we had them. It's nice to see Richards and Benny put them to good use.
I'm the last one!
I yell and raise my axe up over my head in triumph.
My song wins!
Then the galley hatch opens and I'm suddenly very wet. I scream as the boiling water covers my face, neck, and chest. I can feel my skin blistering instantly, even through my coveralls. My scream is cut short as the pot used to douse me is thrown into my face. My teeth crack and my nose makes a horrible crunching noise. But any pain the pot has caused is lost behind the curtain of agony the boiling water has already created. I'm shoved out of the way, and through my pain, I see a small figure jump over Richards and Benny, then sprint down the corridor and around the corner. I should give chase, but fucking hell, my skin hurts. An old remedy comes to mind, and instead of giving chase to the woman, I'm pretty sure it's Donna from her small size, I walk through the mess hatch and head straight for the galley. I have to step over more than a few corpses along the way. I have no idea who went to work in here, but they did a marvelous job. All women are now accounted for. I see Barb and Nellie holding each other in their last embrace. Carla and Vicky are right there, and there, and there. Oh, and over there. Finally, spread eagle in front of the galley door is Jenny. Her body having been split open stem to stern. Yeah, the runner that tried to boil my face off is definitely Donna. Only one left. I shove through the galley door and stumble to the small reach-in cooler. I yank the door open and find what I need and get to work. Once my skin has been thoroughly coated in butter, which they say is good for burns, I make a sandwich. Killing everyone in the base is hungry work, thank you. With my belly full and my skin still hurting like a motherfucker, I pick up my axe and leave the galley, then leave the mess. I'm in no hurry. There's only one place for Donna to go if she thinks she can live through this. The sub-bay. The song plays at full volume in my head, and I sway back and forth to the discordant tune. My love for the music only grows with every step. It's like, now that the others' songs have died with them, my song has more room to grow and build inside me. It fills me up with an intensity that is almost as hot as my blistered skin.
Donna!
I yell, and then wince as the skin around my lips tears open and the blisters ooze and the blood runs and the song builds and builds and builds. Oh, Donna, you silly, silly woman. You have to watch where you're stepping. I follow the bloody footprints that Donna has left behind all the way down to the sub-bay. Now, what weapons are in the bay? It's something to think about as I peer through the porthole in the bay's hatch. It would suck to have accomplished so much to only then get impaled by a pike. But as I run through the inventory of the sub-bay, I realize that there were only 2 pikes hanging on the wall, and Richards and Benny took those guys for themselves. I'm sure there are plenty of other weapons in there, but you know what? Life is short, and I still have someplace to be after this. So I'm not going to waste any more time standing out there like a wuss-ass bitch. I spin the wheel and shove the hatch open. The paddle comes down the second I step foot through the hatch. But even wounded, I'm faster than Donna. I pull my leg back and the paddle slams into the deck with bone-jarring force, revealing Donna as her momentum brings her from standing to the side of the hatch and into full view of me. And my fire axe. Being on one side of the hatchway and Donna on the other, I can't exactly swing the axe. So instead I jab it out at her and catch her in the left shoulder, knocking her even more off balance than her paddle swing has. She tumbles to the deck in a heap and struggles to get up. Then I see the large gash in her left thigh. Her coveralls and about 4 inches of her leg are wide open.
Damn you, Lucas!
Donna mumbles as she claws her way across the deck, trying to put some distance between us. My axe blade falls onto the back of her left thigh, adding insult to injury. Donna screams and reaches back for the axe head with one hand, but I kick the hand away, then crouch down over her, the axe still embedded in her leg. I really am sorry you can't hear the song, I say to her, resting my hand on the pick end of the axe blade. Then I give it a hard shove and smile as Donna screams again. But it has always been this way since men have left the shores in order to explore the endless seas. She doesn't want the women. I shove the axe blade again and chuckle as Donna cries out. I think there are words in her cries, but I can't really make them out. Not that I actually care what she says at this point. Killing Donna is just one more box checked in the grand scheme of things. Anyway, I say and stand up. I plant a foot on the back of her knee, grip the axe's handle, and pull hard. It comes free easier than I thought, and I stumble back, then trip over the edge of the hatchway. I fall hard on my ass and start laughing and laughing. Talk about slapstick! Donna begins to crawl again, and my laughter slowly dies away. There is no escape, Donna, I say to Donna, as I pick myself up and step back into the sub-bay. Don't get me wrong, there's no escape for any of us. No. Once the song started, well, I guess it was already over, wasn't it? Donna is crying and asking me not to kill her. I roll my eyes and follow her to the edge of the deck, where our 2 submersibles bob up and down, back and forth in the frigid black waters. All we are doing here? I say and lift my axe up over my head with one arm. Blistered skin inside my coveralls tears and rips, but I don't cry out. I'm not a pussy like Donna. All we're doing here is fulfilling our destiny. This isn't about some dumb nuclear sub anymore. This is about the true glory of the ocean. If you could hear the song, then you'd understand. But since you can't, the axe falls. So does Donna's head, right into the black water. I watch it bob along the submersibles until it is lost from sight between the 2 vehicles. The song grows louder inside me and I close my eyes, lifting my face up so I can take it all in. Then I realize the song isn't just inside me anymore. My ears perk up and I want to cry at how happy I am to know the song is actually real as it echoes through the base's corridors, coming from somewhere outside. Okay, I guess that means admitting that a small part of me thought maybe I'd just gone totally bonkers insane. Of course, that wouldn't explain all the other men going all crazy too. But details get lost when you halfway suspect you've gone completely bonkers.
Find me, my love. Find me here. Find me now. We shall be together for eternity. Deep and dark and down here below, our love shall live on forever and ever and ever and ever.
The song sings.
I'm coming!
I shout and let my axe fall to the deck. I am out of the sub-bay and sprinting through the base as fast as I can. I take corners too sharply and collide with walls. My body protests, and I can feel blood seeping from my wounds, soaking my coveralls all the way through. Sweat joins the blood, and by the time I reach my destination, I am soaked to the bone by my own bodily fluids. Whew, kinda makes a guy dizzy. My head and vision swim as I walk into the observatory and smile from ear to ear at the most beautiful sight ever. There she swims, outside the reinforced glass, a specter of love and ferocity. Her hair is long and green, made of seaweed and kelp. Her skin is coarse and blotched by barnacles and crust. Her breasts are sagging heaps of flesh that float in front of her chest. Scales trail from under her breasts, down her belly, and are lost in her bottom half, which is nothing but a huge fin.
My love, let me join you.
She sings to me, her clawed hands outstretched and caressing the reinforced glass.
My worthy hero, my last one left. Look deep in my eyes and know the answer lives here. Let me in, my love. Let the sea end and we shall live together.
The lyrics kinda don't match the cadence of her tune, but goddamn what a voice she has. My love could sing the Wikipedia entry on IBS and I'd still melt like I am now. I stagger to the glass and press my hands opposite hers. Her own webbed fingers match my movement, and just for a moment, all of my pain and agony is gone. There is only here and my song, the song she sings to me.
My love, let me join you.
She sings again.
Together forever and ever and ever.
The refrain echoes in my head as all of my pain comes back in a wild rush of pure torture. I nearly fall to the observation deck's cold metal grating, but manage to stay upright as the song washes over me. A thought explodes in my head as she repeats the lyrics over and over. If she is to join me, then I have to let her in. And I cannot ask a woman like this to swim around to the sub-bay. How crass. No. A beauty such as her must have a grand entrance. There must be a romantic gesture attached. I have to let her in right here, and right now.
Be right back, my sweet love!
I shout, my entire body aflame in pain. I race from the observation deck and out into the corridor, where I find what I know will be there. A fire axe. I smash that glass with my forehead and laugh as the blood pours down over my eyes, blinding me instantly. With the axe in one hand, I use the other to wipe the blood away so I can see, but it does no good. The blood keeps on coming. No worries, I know the base like the back of my hand. So I run back into the observation deck with the axe raised up, blinded by blood just as much as I am blinded by love.
I am coming, my love!
I scream as I run straight for the glass.
You will join me forever, my sweet love!
The song is all I hear. It's all I know. The song is mine. The song is ours. The song fuels me. The song fills me.
For us, my love!
I scream as the blade hits the glass, letting in the depth of the ocean and the open arms of my sweet, sweet siren. I take the embrace of both, knowing I will be loved forever and ever and ever. Thanks for listening. If you enjoy these stories, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and check out some more of my episodes here.